Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
What is happening in this video? Aloha, my name is Kimo. I'm a Kanaka Maoli High Seer. I have the ability to perceive energy spectrums on the quantum level, cross-referencing that with scientists and with doctors. And I teach everyone in the world how to do that. Let's talk about great parenting. This is a wonderful example of great parenting. From infancy all the way till around 6.5, 7 years old, children do not possess an analytical mind. It doesn't actually begin to develop until later on. So at this age, and I'm assuming your little child is younger than 7.5, around this age, their brain does not know the differences between their imagination and their creative mind. They don't know the differences between the creative mind and their intuition. So these three different aspects of the brain not shaping yet, which means there is a watercolor-like effect that happens between what is true intuition and the creative mind and their imagination. And it's supposed to be there. One of the dangerous things is when a parent cuts it, diminishes it. And this parent is not doing that. This parent is doing a really wonderful job. There is no lassitude in this video. She's not diminishing the child's belief systems. Now, from here, regardless if the child is actually seeing spirit or not, the parent is allowing the creative field to interact with intuition. What does that mean? That means when the child grows up with parenting that allows the child to flourish naturally, the child grows up to understand how to work with their creative mind, which is about aptitude, high test taking, results in wonderful relationships, emotional understanding. This is all wonderful things that this parent is doing. Now, is this child actually seeing spirit intelligence? Let me explain what it looks like for me as your seer. I do want to make sure that people understand this parent has granted permission. So thanks, Mom. I appreciate it. I do think that we need to ask for permission before we read anybody on social media. So I appreciate that. When your child is moving around this space, let me help translate for a moment. It's not that dad is being seen in one location, because technically in this moment, it does appear that your child is seeing them in multiple locations. There is like this blending like energy that they're seeing at the end of the hallway, but then that blend curves into the bedroom. Which means for us as adults, we say, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's way too abstract. But for the child, it is not. So your child in that moment is seeing them abstractly around the corner and then in the bedroom. Now, this is where creative mind starts to come into play. They might say, well, now all of a sudden dad is 7 feet tall. Or they might say grandpa is as small as a mouse. They might say grandpa is hiding in the closet. They might say grandpa wants to talk to you. All of that, regardless of how they perceive that abstractly, is your opportunity to parent them accordingly. To say, yeah, so what does grandpa look like? Is he pink today? I love the color pink. Is grandpa looking like a unicorn today hiding in my closet? I think that's so exciting. Let's play. The moment you start to interject any of your fear or bias or ego into the playtime, anytime you start to integrate any of that, it starts to affect, once again, because they don't have any analytical mind at this age, it starts to affect their subconscious field, which means it could color the way that they choose to see spirit, which means spirit is only scary, which means a spirit is scary, which means that spirit comes in and wants to hurt me before I go to bed. And that would not be an effective way to get your child to rest or to activate. Parent, I just want to give you a big high five. This is amazing. I think you're doing an amazing job. If you have any further questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to them. Uncle Kimo wants to talk to them. Wonderful young little budding seer in the making. Besides all that, if other individuals are watching this on social media, please do not offer any unwarranted insight if the parent hasn't asked for any. Good work.